Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Welcome back to class, back to our altered book. Before we start, I just need to say sorry about my voice, my sniffles and all the rest. The kids have finally given me their head cold. I do have a big box of tissues here and lots and lots of my water bottles and all the rest, and we'll see how we go getting through it. I can't guarantee if I leave it I'm going to be any better, so we'll just do this. We'll see how we go. Right, today's class. Another flip, of course, because this is the whole point to this book, is how to get all these flips in and all the rest. But today, what I want to talk about is, hang on, sitting here. You know when you go to a cafe, some restaurants, all sorts of places, and you get your little things that your cutlery come in. You know, these little cutlery utensil holders. I'm not quite certain what they're called, whether they actually have a real name or not. They come, I've got lots and lots of those ones, haven't I? They come different styles, different thicknesses, different sizes and all the rest. These days I've got a very good group of friends who get these for me whenever they're travelling around, because they all tend to travel more than me. And I love them. I love using them. They're a ready-made pocket to do with whatever. But they also make great flips. So we're going to use two today. These are just, now, I've used one of these because I've got lots and lots of these. And yes, it's black. And I didn't really think I'd use the black, but I quite like how it came up. And then I wanted to use just a narrow one. And we're going to join these two. So this one is actually different to this one, I'd say. Oh, might not. Let's see how we go. This one's slightly taller than that one. They are all slightly different, slightly larger, smaller. Those two would look really nice together, as well as flips. We'll stick with our small ones. I like these ones because they fit a bookmark, a laminated bookmark or something like that into them. And then they're just beautiful to have the tassel hanging out. And they're in there. You can pull out your bookmark, pop it in your journal wherever you are, at whatever page you're on. Right, so I'll set those ones aside. Oh, and I've still got more in there. I just have them sitting. I actually have them sitting with my paper bags. When I get them, they just sit in there, and then but they sit together, so I can pull them out and play with them as I go. So today's is, as I said, the two sizes with a flip. With a flip. Yes, I know I haven't done these, but these, you girls are right now for doing things on your pages and all the rest. And I'll go back and I'll do some more pockets, or I'll do some journaling spots and all the rest. But you don't need me to go through these anymore. You're right with that. It's all these sorts of techniques that I want to continue showing you. So I've covered it with my background paper as per normal. I've already done that, so let's pull out the other book. And these books change each time to whichever one I pick up first. Right, so I've covered it with my background paper, which is still the Pages pack from Which Craft Do You Do. I just like this grunge and it works so well. So I've got one here that you can see is a little bit longer than my page. Oh, now you can see that it's a little bit longer than my page. It's going to go on that way so that the pocket faces me here. This one is going to go on that way so that the pocket faces me this way. Now, as you can see, it's got a little bit of a lip there for you to pull something out. With my other one, what I've ended up doing, just to give you a little bit more room, is I've punched a circle with a circle punch in here, and then just rounded my edges. Yeah, I know it's not perfectly straight or anything else, but it just gives you a little bit more room if you don't want something too high going in there. So one I thought I'd do one way, one I'd do the other way. Now what I want to do with these is use some of my serviettes. I'm just going to set that to the side because we don't need our book just yet. This is something that you can have these done in advance, and then as you're working on your journals, you can pull them out and tab them to your journals. So when I'm working with my serviettes, and I have a big box of serviettes, full packets, and then I have a little plastic container, more or less on the go, with bits and pieces of serviettes that I can just pull out of. It's usually got a selection of all the serviettes that I've got in there, and I can go from there. So I want to use this one. I really like this B one, and I can't remember where I got it from. But what I want to do with it, I'm not big into, as you can hear, the rest of the family are crook as well. I'm not big into straight lines with my serviettes. I like them a bit wavy. So for this to fit down here, and I want to get rid of some of that, I'm going to use my water brush. Doesn't take much with a water brush to go over your serviette. I've already taken the back layers off these ones. That's why they're in this little container, just ready for me to pick up and use. So you can see where the water is sitting on the serviette, and it allows it just to tear and gives me this nice soft look. Okay, so I want to do the same on the other side, and I need, if I sit it on here, you can see this is the width that I want. So I want to go somewhere around there, a little bit of a border, but I'm just drawing a line. Now, if you don't have a water brush, you can use just a paintbrush with a bit of water on the end. Look at that. So much easier. So I want to do the top and the bottom again as well. So I don't want to lose too much height. So I'm just literally going across there, and then I can just tear this off as I go. And it'll just tear off that wet patch. You will find if you've got glue on your fingers, it will stick like the proverbial. So try not to have too much glue on your fingers when you're doing this first bit. All right, so I'm actually going to get all my serviettes done to size first before I'm covered in glue again, because it's very unusual for me not to be covered in glue. So if I've got the chance right now, I'm going to do them now. Right, so there's our front piece for this one. That's what I want on the front of that. And then I can put some more bits and pieces on. Now, the piece that I cut off on this one is a beautiful width for that one. Okay, so, and I actually want that on my back piece so that when it flips over, you'll see it like that. Okay, so again, I will need to just rough up my edges. Sorry if you can hear me breathing. I was fine yesterday morning when I got up. Just came on out of the blue yesterday afternoon. I tell you. Okay. I can't wait for the reaction of everybody when I tell them that they're dealing with tea on their own tonight. We've got a day off here today. It's Anzac Day. And I just feeling way too yucky this morning to go down to the dawn service. So I didn't, and I thought I need to get on and get some of these done in advance, just in case I don't get better. So I've got today to get better before I head back to work tomorrow. I'm doing well, I think. Husband's down at work. He's trying to catch up on some work already down there. So we'll see how we go. All right. So that one's going to fit in there beautifully. That one's going to fit on that one beautifully on the front side of this one. I've got another one, but it's still got all of this lovely writing. And you know me and script nowadays. I really like that. So I'm not overly keen on the green on this side. So I'm going to take it down like that. And I'm just scrunching that down. Pull this out like so. All right, work out the size that I want, as in the width. Sit you on there, like that. So this one's going to go down somewhere around the middle of that butterfly. If I give it a really wide piece of water going down there, it'll give you an even. I like the tearing effect better. So you look. Okay, I'm going to have to watch that bit when I put that bit on. That's because I'm just not with it. Really not with it. All right. Take off the top bit across there. Do need to be a little bit delicate with it, and that's my problem. No delicate here today. Nothing like delicate. Right. Okay. So we've got our front on that one. We've got our back on that one. We've got our front on that one. And the back on this one, I actually wanted a journaling space. So right now, what I can do is attach all my serviettes. So I would need glue. This one, make sure you've got nothing slightly wet, and I'm just going to use my glue stick. I've used Mod Podge, I've used watered down of my normal white glues, liquid glues. They're all 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but most of the time they're over there and I can't be bothered moving. So I will tend to just use my glue stick. So I'm going from about halfway up and working my way up. A little bit of pressure, not too much. And then I will bring it down. Doesn't take much to adhere these because they are only one layer. Alright, you can see why I get so much glue on my hands later on. I'm actually going to tip this way so that I can look down at it. And I'm going to go about there, I'm thinking. We don't want to use a scraper on this one, okay? Because what you'll end up doing is tearing something. So just push it down, and then as it dries, it'll become less mottly. Sorry. Quick mouthful of my water. Okay, stick that one aside. So this is the back side of this one. And I want it round about in the same area. So if it's going to go there, this one's going to sit in about here. Because I can decorate around these and all the rest. So make sure I've got one that's not too inky. You guys are still in shot there, aren't you? So turning it over, using the glue stick, straight down. And then back up the other way. Without going too much pressure and tear it. Look, it's okay if you tear it. You can still get them on. It'll give them a different look. And I've used that before, and I quite like it. But for this effect that I want today, I want the full sheets. So I'm actually going to turn that round. Match that up that way. Like so. And now I'm just going to round about. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just round about. Okay, now I can pat that down. Move that out. Pat it down, scrunch it in. The best thing about serviettes is that, for me, I like where it ridges and all the rest. So if you don't, make sure you put it down nice and flat, nice and straight. I quite like the ridges, and quite often I'll put them down where I'll scrunch them as I go anyway. This is the front, and this is where I want this one. Okay, now I'm going to watch it because I have got a bit of a tear there, and I'm going to find a completely dryish, like that, so that I don't run the risk that it's sitting on something gluey already. Okay. Move that one out of the way, set that one sideways so that I'm ready to go. And I'm actually going to go the other way first. So I'm going to go from the middle down, like so. Now I'm going to go from middle back up. I'm leaving my little torn piece to the end because I'm hoping that it'll hang on to my page enough while I go over that. Right. So, there we go. Lovely dovely. Lovely dovely. Right. just going to sit that one down, round about. Working my way up as I go, so I don't want my fingers to tear that any further. If I find, once it's all dried, that I've got some areas that haven't been glued properly, I will just lift them up and put a little bit of my normal white liquid glue under there. But I will give it a good shot to adhere itself in the first place. Right, now you can't even really tell that that had that on there. So see all that? I've missed all of that because that's where that tear was and I was too worried about it. So hang on a moment, that is such a big one. Let's see if we can just put a little bit of glue on here. That'll give me a bit more where it's glued down, and then I can put the last little bit with my white glue. There we go. And then I've just got little bits here that I will use my white glue later on. Right, so, mind you in saying, no, you're that way, so it's not going to have a tab on it. Right, so here are our little bits. I want these two to match at the bottom, okay? I like the fact that this one's taller, and this one is actually taller than my book page. So I want to have a charm hanging off it. So if I sit this here, not by much, but just by a little bit, it is, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, couple of mil, just above. So I want to pop a charm in the top of that so that I've got a dangle off it as well. Even though I'm going to have a bookmark here that'll have some tassels hanging off it and all the rest, but the bookmark will be used. So what I do, I'm just moving all this because this will be the last little section. What I want to do is, the easiest way for me to do charms with these sorts of ones, yes, I can poke a hole in it. Yes, I can pop a eyelet through it. But if I do an eyelet, when you turn this over, you've got that gunky look of the back side of an eyelet. So I always use paper clips. And I know everybody's into the altered paper clips these days, but I like paper clips that I don't have to move. Okay, so this is going to sit in here to give me my top for a charm to hang off. So if you have a look on this one, all right, here it is, it's sitting in there. It doesn't come out. It's not made to come out, okay? So it's just there so that I've got this as a hook, more or less, at the end. So when I'm doing this, because this one is smaller here, I don't want all of this to be right down there where I'm going to have to try and cover all the way down there, because I want to cover my paper clip. So with your paper clip, you've got a small end and a long end. We want the small end at the start, okay? If you put it in so that you've got just that little bit here, that's about how much you want to cover at the front. So the easiest way to do that, and what I did before, there's lots of different ways, but I'll show you how I did it before. So I just used, I love these, they give me a little bit of colour. My last one, I used a rusty coloured one to pick up the rust in here. I think I might go with one of these greeny coloured ones to pick up the greens. Even that, quite like that. So let's just go that. And I'm going to not use my scissors because I cannot see straight. So make my ruler do the work for me. We'll just take that out. So it's a very light sage green, I suppose, this one. Almost into a brown. So this is off the Bits and Pieces collection from Witchcraft Do You Do. I know that because I've been working with it lately and I've had it out for lots of different things and all the rest. I will be using other labels and bits and pieces later on. I can't quite tell you where they're all from because they're just in my collection of labels that I use all the time because I'm a label junkie. Some of them I know, like there are some that are Tracy Fox, there are some that are, I don't know, Tim Holtz, others could be from Graphic Fairy, others are ones that I've made myself from stamps. It's just, yeah. So this one I can, of course, tell you. So if we look at our paper clip, we need to cover from here to there. I don't want that much. I want about that much. So I want a little bit more on this. These work perfectly size-wise to go in here. With these cutlery, and they're all different, as I said before, but these ones, they've glued really far close in. So, you know, when we're gluing pockets, we always say glue as close as you can to the edge so you get more room. They don't do that with these, all right? So that finishes there and finishes here. So you've only actually got from there to there. I know. They're obviously not journalists. I know. I don't know what to do about it, but... So you just need to remember you don't have anywhere near as much room when you want something to go down here. Now, because I didn't want another colour bought in, I just used a little piece of black. So, and I've got some black here, and it's just a little piece of black cardstock. I know, blacks aren't black, but these ones worked. And I didn't really need anything on the side, but what I did need was bits on the top or on the bottom to cover that. So at this stage, I'm going to give it a little bit more at the top and only a fraction of a bit at the side. So we'll ink, not we're going to ink, what are we going to do? We're going to glue, sorry, sniff, sorry. All right, so we're going to glue, and I'm going to sit that on there so that I've got a little bit on one side, more at the top. I can always trim it off again at the top. I'm just doing that straight by eye. This time I can use my scraper to make sure it'll go down beautifully. And then I'm just going to trim that off, again by eye. And I know, it's going to be crooked today. That's just what it is. It's a one of a kind, okay? And just a tiny fraction here, so that I've got equal sides and wider top and bottom. Now we'll check to see if that fits, because I might need to trim my sides up a little bit. Oh, it fits in there. Yeah, it fits in there. It's a little bit tight. I might take a little bit off. So, oh, sorry, I've got a cough. Oh dear. I'll have a drink. Taking a little bit off that one and a little bit off that one. Like so. Check that again. That's better. And I want that to come all the way to the top. So now I've got that in there, and it looks like it's just an element that's sitting in there, okay? So what I'm going to do is attach this to that one, because I only want the small one, remember? So I'm going to have to cough, sorry. Sorry. I don't know why I'm turning away. I've got the microphone on me, haven't I? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, dear. Sorry. All right. So the bit that I want to cover is that bit. That bit just there. And I want about that much to show at the top. All right. I'm going to put this bit at about the same length as the black that I've got. A little bit under. So it fits in there. Doesn't even need to be that big. And that's going to adhere onto that. Okay? So that whole thing will be stuck like that, which means I can slide that down in. similar to your normal altered paper clips. So I'm just going to use this one, and I'm going to glue all of this because you won't see it. So it could be anything I like that I've used to adhere it with it. Okay, so there's that. Down there. It's all going to be covered anyway. Okay, lifting this up, making sure I've got the amount that I want that'll hold an eye-ring. Eye-ring? I think that's what they're called. Making sure that's up the right way. And somewhere in the middle, which is about there. You in shot. Yep. So that I've got my paper clip in the middle, and now I just want to push it down. Okay, so what it's given me is my little hook here. Now you can rust your paper clips, you can cover them with alcohol inks to get your different coloured charm holders or whatever else. It's up to you. I don't mind the silver. So this one, of course, now is going to go on here like so, and it'll fit because we checked it. I'm just going to go down there. It does fit. I checked it. You saw me check it. There we go. I don't need to adhere it because this is about to be attached on this side. Okay? All I want is to make sure it's nice and straight. And that way I don't have to play around with more glue. Right, so that's on nice and straight. My paper clip is there, ready to go. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a label on the back here. So I want to make this into a journaling spot. I'm looking around because I know I've got some here somewhere. There you go. Right, and I just want a piece like so of coffee dyed, what's the name? Yep, I'm doing really well with my words, aren't I? Wow, Kylie, just use the, move all these out of the way. Use the, what do you call it? Trimmer. Oh dear, not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. Right, that one's going to just go in there. I'll give that a quick whip around with my ink just to give it my burnt edge as per normal, and cover up my pencil line where I'm too lazy to actually rub it out. Okay. All right. So that one's going to go down there like that. It'll give me, it covers up this writing. I don't need to advertise for them. So what I'm going to do is have an even border from the bottom and up each side. That can now just be, put that one back away, like so. And we'll glue this one. All right. Right, done. And I like that. I know I've just turned that around, but that's because I want to put something on the top as well. Alright, use your scraper on that one, just to really get your glue stick in around everything. Close that. Now, I want a little label up here, and I want something on here. What I'm going to do before I put my label on, though, is attach these two together so that I can see where my tabs are. Okay? So this will be where it's tabbed onto the, Oh, I'm not doing well. I want that side. I want that side. If I turn that over, this is where it's going to be tabbed onto my book. Okay, these are where these ones are tabbed together here. So this definitely needs something else. So I can see that in there now. And before I start tabbing, I want to make sure everything is nicely adhered. And we'll just push that out. Like so. That was the only one. Right. So now, when I tab these, I started with this beautiful little dictionary page. I love it. It's this tiny, tiny dictionary. Right. Beautiful. So little tiny words. It's from, I don't know. It's from a long time ago. It's missing half the pages at the front. I've probably already used them. Revised edition. But that's all it'll tell me. Nope, won't tell me a date. I've used most of the pages anyway. And it's beautiful, but it is fairly old. Which means these are gorgeous, but they are a little bit brittle. So what I like to do with this is I want to make my tabs. Now I've done a tabbed journal. If you go back through my go back onto my channel, you'll find that I've got a tab journal there using, I think I'm using fabric or curtaining or something like that. But it's a similar sort of idea. I don't need it this wide. I want to take off, I don't know, about that much, just a little bit over my ruler. Okay. Tears beautifully, this paper, because it is so old. And now I'm just going to fold that in half. Okay. So that I've got a folded section. Now I want to have a tab up here. It's going to be about that long. You can see there's lots of nice good measurements. And I want a tab down here. Yeah, down there I'm thinking about that long. Okay, so with my normal glue, which I didn't put the lid back on, just for such an occasion. I think I'd like my, did I put them away? Yes, I did. I think I'd like my tweezers. So this is going to go down, right down towards the bottom on the actual fold of the book page and right up against the cutlery bag. Cutlery bag, maybe they're a cutlery bag. We're going to do the same on this one up here. It's up to you if you want to ink around these. You can see I haven't, but I'm about to change mine anyway because I love this book page and it's such small wording and all the rest, but it was very brittle, and when I stuck it on and after I used it a couple of times, it actually tore down the centre, so I couldn't use it at all. And then I went, no, but I like it. So what I did was got a very light washi tape. That's the black and the cream that all matches in with that, and I've put that over it. So we're going to adhere this one down to it first. Okay, so we're going to put our glue on this section. Making sure we go to our edges. Your glue will squash anyway and ooze towards the edges, but you don't want to, you know, really miss a massive amount. So that's that side, that's that side. Just line it up so that it's nicely against it. Push this guy over. Push this guy over. Give them a push. And what you've then got is a nice little tabbed flip. But, as I said, my paper, it didn't like it. So all I did was I just got some washi tape and put it over the centre of that so I could still see my writing, but it gave it an extra bit of solidness, I suppose, and held my paper together. I'm going to chop off a little bit more of that. I only want it actually where the paper is. Yep, you're right. So through the centre. All right, give that a really good push, and that'll now hold that for however many times it will fold in and out. So if you're using normal book paper, it might be fine, as in current day book paper, it might be fine. But if you're using very old or vintage book paper, just give it that extra reinforcement, okay? You could always put your washi tape on and then stick your other one on top, and that way if it splits down that folded section, it's not going to make that much difference. But I quite enjoyed that bit. So there's that one, there's that one. What we've got now is this bit that we want to actually attach to our book. And if I can find the book, we'll do that. So, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. So, our book, what's going to happen is that this is going to sit here like so. All right, and this is going to attach onto there. Same way we just did our other one. So, right against that, right against that. You might find it'll be easier, and I'll have one here that I haven't used, to sit one of these under it, and then you can actually see where your book page finishes. Whereas when you don't, this starts to blend in and you can't really see. So put a scrap or something like that just behind. So again, I want to butt this up, but I want the bottom section even, so that this one at this bit where my charm's going to sit is slightly higher on the page, and it'll give me all those elements at the top of my journal in different heights and levels, etc. So we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did before, but I'm going to pop in some slightly longer ones. So I'll go back to my dictionary. I'll grab a page that I know is fine. You can hear this turning out. So where's my ruler? There it is. And I'm just going straight down that center column. And when I'm doing it, I tend to just take off that bit because I just want all wording. And I know I'm covering a lot of it up with the washi tape, but you can still see a lot of that washi tape coming out. So, and I want to take about that much off. I don't know what that measurement is. It's just what it worked out to, so that I had about that much left over. This can now be folded. Yes, because it'll be this side. Which side do I like better? That side. So I'm going to fold that side. In there. Down there. Alright, and I'm going to have one up here. Same thing. Sorry, that was yucky, wasn't it? Sorry, I sniffed without even thinking. Sorry. Oh, good thing we didn't have that one on. It's blood sucking. Right. Right, so this one's going to go in here on my, from about the top of that. Okay. Giving that a push. And then when I go on, I can stick that bit down there. Alright, so there's one. And now I can stick my other piece, which is... I don't know. Oh dear. Oh dear, little one's too small, too small. There it is. And this one I want about there. All right. So again, we will glue down there. Right. Grab this. So it's just going to go down here. Right. Give that a good push. And now, and I've pushed you out, haven't I? Oh, Kylie. It's stuck. I have to refold that one. I might have to refold that one. Who did not see that? Right. Okay. Okay. Right, so now we're going to go on to there. So, glue on these ones. I know, this is a bit of a wobbly class today, isn't it? Sorry. Bad, Kylie, bad. Alright. So when you're seeing this, it'll be Thursday, and I'm hoping that I am all better. Wouldn't that be nice? Right. That's now got its new fold. And now, yeah, see what I mean? It tears very easily. But that's where my washi tape. But I just like that paper. So, sit you together again. And then I can still see that paper underneath it. It's about the only way I'm going to be able to use that paper if I want to use it for tabs. There we go. Right, so that's given it all the strength it now needs. I'm going to take this out and we're going to do something on the back of this. Two things we're going to do on the back of this. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that. Right. I want something to cover the back side of my paperclip, and I want to put a little bit of a decoration here, and I want to just embellish a little bit more on there. So, if I go to, all right, so this is my labels printed container. I know. And that's why I said I can't tell you who's a who's, because I've got so many different ones in there. So, something large like that will go over that. I want him bigger, actually. Here we go. You're going to be about the same size, aren't you? So I want... Oh, if that was going the other way. And I have, yeah, all sorts of bits. I did originally put them in so that they were in order, but... Are you smaller? You're smaller. You might work. Look at that. Well, that was hard. Right. I love all these sorts of ones. So they're just me. And I use them all the time. And I can tell you with this one is from Tailor-Made Journals. Fairly certain. I have her set The Pharmacist, so it might be from that. So we're going to ink. No, we're not. We're going to glue all over this, because what it's going to do is hold that paper clip in place so that you don't even realise that it's a paper clip, because technically we want it just as a little circular charm holder. That's it. So I want to pop that in there. Sorry, did I just stick my head in the camera? There you go, look at that. Pushing that in there. Right, so now I've got that. I also want to use something black on here. I had these little die cuts that were black ones. Now, if I wanted to, yes, I could cut them out with my Big Shot, die cutting machines, any of those. But really, why? When I could just purchase it like this and be done with it. So I want that, and I'm thinking there. And I'll take that little butterfly because I've got butterflies on the other side on that serviette. So they were just close to my heart. Die cuts. Actually, speaking that, they've put new ones out. And they're script. Look. So they're sitting there waiting to use too. Yummy, 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 yummy. Right, so these are nice and easy to go on. They just glue little bit by little bit. You don't need a whole whack of glue. They're a nice, sturdy, almost into a chipboard. But yeah, I really like them. The black ones came out for, I don't know, one of their ranges, and just had to have. But once it's gone type thing. And the butterflies were just awesome with them. Right, so that's that. Once again, we'll use those. I'm going to go that side, I think, in there, like that. Sit you down there. And I get my old first washer and just push you down so that you're pushing down and it's soaking up the excess glue that's coming out. And then with my butterfly, I'm thinking, where do I want my butterfly? Actually, just to the side of it. I don't even want him on there. So, right, put the lid back on that. I've got a little bit more to go. And we're done. I haven't even looked at the time. Has anybody looked at the time? I want that side, actually, because I want this as journaling. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm just trying to see the time. 47 minutes. Okay, we're almost done. Right, so that's that bit. That's that bit. So let's put some stuff on here. And again, I'm going to go to my favourite label section. It doesn't need much. Sorry, my voice is really going, isn't it? I'm going to have to cut soon. Oh, dear. Okay. So, let's just have a look at some of these. So now that's a stamp that I've actually stamped it on the back of some book page because I love the colour. And it's a newish book, but it's got a nice colour to it. So, I don't want it to... I'm thinking, and I don't want all the extra. I want to just trim it down a little bit. So, just to give it some texture. A couple of different types of labels, papers, fonts, because I love using different fonts for everything. And then I can, because I'm going to trim this off down here. Do I want you there and you on that? No, because I actually want the writing. Right. And I'm putting that back into my label container because I know I'll use that for something else. So this is going to sit in here, like so. I can sit over there. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Just burn that. Not that I'm going to see much of that. Bit of glue, back with my glue stick this time. Nice and easy. Alright. Oops. Oops, oops. Alright, that's that one. Now we'll go this one. Alright. Okay. And I've got that one. And like that. It's not straight. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for just putting up with me today. I'm just nowhere near it. Hang on. Did that help? I put my hand over the microphone. Take a drink. I'd like something down here too. I'm really starting to lose my voice, aren't I? Oh dear, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. We're all done, girls. I promise. Okay, back to my little pile of yummies, as I call them. And let's have a look. What about a number? I'd like that with something else under it. Oh, I'd like a small circle. I should have circles in here. But then numbers. Numbers. And I'm not in the mood to stamp. Who would have ever thought you'd hear that come from me? All right, let's use some of these tiny Timmies. There. Because they've got to be used. So, that's that one. We'll stick those ones down and then we are done, okay? What do you reckon? So that's that one. This one, I'm actually thinking I might take it so that it is on its little angles. Always when I cut them out in that rectangle, and then it gives me the opportunity, if I want to trim them down further. Just leaving a slight border on there. Right. There we go. Down there like that. Beautiful. Put the lid back on that. Oh, what a mess, Kylie. That's an even bigger mess than I've normally got. And who would have ever thought that was possible? Not me. I think it was about there. And then this one. I have no idea what's been in shot and what hasn't. I just realised I haven't really been looking at all. Thank you for sticking with me through this. I think I'm going to go and have a lay down now. I hope you enjoyed that one. It's just given you a different flip. Again, you could pop a pocket on this. You could have all of this as journaling. It's up to you what you do with these pages. Our purpose here is to show you all these wonderful flips without getting your book too thick. So we've done all of these wonderful flips. And at this stage, you know, we're not too thick, which is amazing for me. Normally by the time I'm a third of the way in, it's sitting out like that. So I hope you're enjoying this. Thank you very much for watching today. And until next time, happy crafting. Thanks, guys. Bye.